The album for this week that we're going to be discussing is the brand new Alkaline Trio album, Blood, Hair, and Eyeballs. Blood, Hair, and Eyeballs is the 10th studio album by American punk rock band Alkaline Trio. It was released on January 26, 2024. It is the band's final album with longtime drummer Derek Grant, who departed from the group prior to the album's announcement. So, uh, oh, one side story. Matt Skiba, the lead singer slash guitar player for Alkaline Trio, is the one who replaced Tom DeLonge in Blink 182 for 8 years before Tom DeLonge came back into the band. So that might be where you know this band. But Eric,
Mhm.
your thoughts on this album?
I mean, it's refreshing to listen to an actual good album. Um, for a while. However, so this is the first time I've actually heard of these guys. But they definitely have that like kind of Blink 182 kind of Smiths vibe to them. I think it was great. It was a great album. There was a lot of cool music parts in there because I love what I love about punk music in this era is that you get these bands that are either just pop punk, like Good Charlotte and all those people who are just very generic, simple bands.
Right.
And but then you get something like Blink 182 or this Alkaline Trio that are like, or even Billy Talent, right? That like there's a lot going on in the undertones of the instruments that you're just like, wow, that was like,
Mm-hmm.
how did he do that? Like that was really cool. So it was kind of nice to hear that in this. Um, I found that the album wasn't anything special though. Like it was good, but it wasn't like blowing me away kind of thing. It's like I've heard this before kind of
Okay.
thing. So however, there's one song on here, I think it was Meet Me, that I could not stand. I could not stand the chorus to this song. It was the second song on the track. I was like, this song is garbage. I really loved Versions of You. I thought it was really cool.
Mm.
Um, I felt like the flow of the album was good, and this is a very short album. It's coming in at 36 minutes.
Yeah, very
Like
short. Yeah.
that's a very short album. So like I've listened to this a few times. Um, yeah, like it was well produced, but it was very like it's been done before kind of thing.
Mm, I see.
So
I see.
it didn't
Uh,
blow me away, but it was good. I enjoyed it though.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I really did like this album. I do agree it didn't blow me away, but I liked it because it didn't feel like a stereotypical pop punk band. You mentioned the Smiths before, and I didn't think about this, but it is more on that sort of depressing, slower side of pop punk, which
Mhm.
we don't hear too often. Obviously, there are bands in that realm, but this is more like the Smiths, the Cure, like those types of bands mixed with
Mhm.
pop punk. And I really did enjoy this album. I thought it was catchy like pop punk should be, but it still had that edge that like punk music has. So even some of the guitar riffs, I was like, that's pretty cool. That's like
Mhm.
I really like a lot of the stuff that's going on instrumentally on this record. Um, and like after listening to that Green Day record that just came out, like I was thinking this is a much better record compared to that
Yeah,
one that came out.
I 100% agree. And I guess, but when I mean generic, it was just very like I don't think anybody that listens to just like the popular end of this genre is gonna ever come across these guys. Like I think it will definitely be drowned out, and it's kind of
Yes.
like a hidden gem for those like diehard fans. But I guess that's what I mean by that when it's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
yeah.
there's no like pop single that you're gonna hear on the radio for this. This is very much like underground type of band, very indie band that, you're gonna have to go find. Because I don't think there's like a really strong chorus or like catchy chorus that is gonna
Mm,
hook you on this record. Um, but I thought like, all the songs, they were great. I just like
mm.
I have to go back and listen to Meet Me because now that you mentioned that you hate it, I had to go back and like think about like why you hate it. But I don't know. I just really like this record, and I guess the only bad thing I would say about this record is like all the songs sort of blended together.
Mhm.
Like it was very much I couldn't tell you the difference between one song compared to the other. They all sort of were like very similar songs, but they were all good.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I would actually recommend people listening to this record because I actually did enjoy it.
Yeah, like I think if you do love Blink 182 and like those diehard punk bands, like especially like with the intricacies, like check out these guys. Like they're actually really good musicians. They're very tight as a band. There wasn't anything overly produced. It was very just like, the bone of the instrument, which is kind of nice to hear.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think I recommend it. I just don't think that it's gonna be like any of these are gonna be actual true singles on the radio or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and I do have to say that the record does sound very good, like recording
Mhm.
wise and mixing wise. Like you just hear everything, and it's great sounding.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Eric. Final thoughts, ratings. What are you gonna give this one?
I'm gonna give this a 7.5 out of 10.
Ooh, 7.5. Okay,
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
7.5 out of 10. Yeah.
I am giving this one an 8 out of 10 because I think it
Nice.
is a great record. It's it's it doesn't have that thing that's gonna make it an excellent record, but I do think it is
Mhm.
a great record. Um, and if you do like that pop punk, but on the more mellow, depressing side, I think this is gonna be right up your alley.
Mhm.
So 8 out of 10 for me, and then 7.5 for you. Okay, perfect. The album, and we already talked about this guy, but the album that we're going to be discussing for next week is the brand new Usher record, Coming Home. I I don't know. I am not excited on one hand to listen to this because I feel like it's just going to be the same like
It's gonna be the
90s.
Super Bowl performance again.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's just gonna be the '90s R&B thing again, and there's gonna be no
Mhm.
innovation, no change. It's just gonna be the same thing, and then I don't know.
Mhm.
That's what I feel like, but we'll see. Maybe he'll do something interesting.
See, it's I'm very nervous because coming off this residency, you think that like he's playing the same songs over and over and over again, probably.
Right?
And it's probably just like you said, like there's gonna be that influence in his music.
Yeah.
So it's like, we've heard this before.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, yeah. For next week, Coming Home by Usher. That's what we're going to be listening to and discussing. And that's it for this week. That's the podcast. This is the Crossroads Music Podcast done for another week. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We're here at
Mhm.
twitch.tv/ the Crossroads Music Podcast. We'll be back here Monday at 10 p.m. ET, 7 p.m. PT. Catch us on Spotify, Apple Music, all the places where you get your podcast. YouTube channel has the album reviews on it. They're all published except for obviously today's episode, which will go up after this.
Mhm.
And that's basically it. Eric, anything you want to close on before we wrap it up for tonight?
Cheers.
All right, have a good one, everyone. We'll see you all next week.